Route assessments on Esdal. After planning a route on Esdal, we arrive at the route assessment page where there can be affected structures and constraints that require our attention. As we go down this list of affected structures, all the unsuitable ones are marked with a red cross in the suitability column. We can see from scrolling down the list that all these unsuitable structures appear to be at road junctions, and instructions are given to avoid them by using the off and on slips. So let's choose to edit the route. And once the map loads, we can see where the unsuitable structures are by the red dots marked along the route. But first, let's make the map full screen. Now for these two unsuitable structures on the A1M, I imagine the way to avoid it is to use the M18 then the M62. So we'll zoom in over a section of the M18 that we're going to use and zoom in to the point where you can see both carriageways, and it's the northbound carriageway we want to use. So right click on it, and from that menu left click add waypoint, and let's zoom out and see the rest of the route. So back on the A14 it was at junctions 51, 50 and 43. So again we can zoom in over these junctions and repeat the process. We just right click on the roundabout and left click to add waypoint. So that's 51. Now to junction 50, where again we right click and left click to add waypoint. And then for junction 43, right click and left click to add waypoint. And that should be all the waypoints we need. However, you will have observed that these waypoints all have numbers, and the way the routing works, it starts at your start flag and then goes to waypoint 1 and then waypoint 2, waypoint 3, waypoint 4 and then to the end flag. So we need to reorder these, and you see how they're all listed down this left hand panel. We can left click and drag to reorder them. So let's left click on number 1 and drag it all the way down, and when we release it becomes number 4 and they have been reordered. So then we can click plan, which will then replan the route. And as we're happy with that, we can then save the route. Now everything is as we named it the first time round. So again, we just click on save, and the route is saved, updated. Now let's get out of the full screen mode and advance again to route assessment. Now we can see that we've already got through all the affected structures, so they're pretty well blanked out, but instead we look to have a constraint which needs our attention. Looks to be some roadworks on the A66, but check the suitability. It's listed here as not specified. Now if the constraint had a numerical limit and we'd exceeded that limit, it would be highlighted red, but as it is, it's just not specified, and it looks to be a warning about the roadworks overnight. We can still see where this constraint is though by going to edit the route, and you can see the little black dot showing where the constraint is. Now as I say, if the constraint had a numerical limit which we'd exceeded, it would show up as red, but in this case it's just a warning to not travel at set times. So as long as we're happy with that, we can still just continue to do assessment. select next to go to the check our route description and then confirm and continue. Now it does flag up again that we've still got some constraints or structures that might be unsuitable, but as the only one remaining was that warning about route times, we can click yes to continue, and that is route assessment completed.